So why didn't I talk about having been Marilyn Monroe reincarnated for real before? For real before. Blah, blah, blah. I'm getting Bugs Bunny speech already. All right. Well, the reason is that there was other people using it. I had a murder, and I was quite afraid to remember the lifetime. In fact, I recognized myself in movies of Monroe's in the 20s, my 20s, when I was in my 20s. And I just sort of walked away, and I didn't really want to do anything with it. And then when I moved to Vancouver, everybody was doing burlesque with it and using it for other things. And so I wasn't really ready. And then because I didn't say anything, then this other Monroe was created that was interviewed all over. It's really big. Uh, the person who was hypnotized and had all these memories. Only the problem was that they weren't the correct memories because they said that she was murdered and I wasn't murdered. No, the other way. They said that she wasn't murdered. She wasn't, that she committed suicide. And in fact, I was murdered. I had big bruises on the shoulders and face squished into the pillow, suffocated, blow to the back of the head with a telephone, and then drugs shoved in me to make sure I never woke up again. So, with that happening, this definitely was not a suicide. So, what I would say is you have to be careful with what you present because everybody bought it. They thought, yeah, this is a real thing. And all the person really had was some borrowed light from me and this crinkly nose that she knew how to do with this smile. We're so to believe that she's Monroe. You know who it is, right? But in fact, it wasn't Monroe. It's the girl right here. And what did I have to do? Dye my hair blonde for everybody to actually notice that it actually is the person reincarnated? It actually looks the same as the last lifetime? Mm-hmm. So I can't be sued for that because it's the truth. And you know what? The Andromedans have our NDEs. And guess what? Mine's real. The other person's isn't. So uh, the, the so called psychiatrist whose credentials are questionable and the so called person who he hypnotized, it's a bunch of malarkey. They're fakes. Even the extraterrestrials apologized to me for it and said they're not going to promote her book anymore because it's embarrassing. So I was kind of shy when all this was going on. And I said, no way, I'm not going to say anything about this. And then finally I did. I wrote the blog on Starlight State with the Marilyn Monroe pages. And I wrote the other blog about Marilyn Monroe. And some very poignant things that I went through also on that blog. The other little blog. There's two. Uh, and then movies and things that I speak to on this movie channel about. Well, it's some about Monroe's movies, some about the new movies, some about what happened to me on this channel, which has dark hair, which has red hair, which has blonde hair. It's got everything. However, it has the real person who was the real Monroe. So I'm very, very sorry that it took me so long. However, there were extenuating circumstances of other people using me so thoroughly that there was almost nothing left of me, even to get anything you want. If you're Marilyn Monroe, really, I never did. I was too shy. I was like, really? But then they said everybody else used it. So good luck. And I'm like shopping and just saying hi and smiling. And people are saying, gee, you look familiar. Where have I seen you before? I'd say, well, I'm Marilyn Monroe reincarnated for real. So people would recognize me. So what do I think of all the fakes, phonies, and malarkey? Well, I'll tell you what, the people who apparently sell a trademark for the name, they lost in court. They lost. The judge says, sorry, you can't. Can't do that to that person. They can use the name. And you know, the telephone book, there's probably hundreds of Marilyn Monroe's anyway. So are you going to tell them they can't use their name if they have a business or something? And the other thing is um, an interesting news item came up, labeled several years later, where that trademarking company apparently was taking the party to court again, only it was a few years later after they'd lost. Interesting news item. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said these people are dirty. You know, if they're trying to work the news to say that they're suing someone when they already lost 4 years later or whatever it was, I don't think I have any trouble using the name, do you? So how do I use it? For things to do with Hollywood projects. And the big spacecraft that supports my movies knows me as that. It's Marilyn Monroe. So that is what was set up by the big, big mother boat, you see. And what do they do with it? None of anyone's business. It's private. It's to do with my stuff, my films. And what else can I tell you? Nothing. I'm here. I'm really the person. And that's about it. Enjoy the rest of the channel that has a mix of older videos and new stuff.